Hey my babies, it's your girl adorekristiana and I'm back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing some crochet on my hair. I am so excited to do this. We're about to see how this is about to turn out. I really don't have much to say other than let's just hop right into it. I'm taking my freshly washed hair out of my microfiber towel, just feeling on it and checking my scalp for any stubborn flakes, because girl, it be like that. After I oil my scalp, I'm going to section it off and begin applying my leave-in. Today's leave-in of choice is Mia Organics Pomegranate and Honey. I'm going to add it to each section at a time, finger detangle with my brush, and then braid it up so it stays detangled and elongated while I do the rest of my hair in the same exact fashion. When I am done, I will end up with 4 braids. Today I am blow drying my hair solely for dryness, not for straightness or anything like that. So now that I'm done, I can get right into parting. I wanted to do a side swoop for this style, and now I'm going to map out the front so that I can think about how I'm going to braid it down so that I can make it look the most natural. After I figured that out, I'm gonna just make a part down the middle and the back of my head and a vertical part starting on this right side. Once I grab my first section to begin my cornrow, I braid it all the way down to the end, and I will do the same exact thing on the next braid right in front of it. But I did start the braid down toward my ear versus my forehead so that I can blend the crochet hair in and make it look a little more natural, like I said. So now I'm going to do the same exact steps on this side of my head. After I'm done braiding, I'm just going to brush the front a little bit to make sure it's going in the direction I want. And this is what it looks like completed. Now I'm going to take some basic bobby pins and crisscross the tails of these braids around the back. And I'm going to start on the right side and just pin down the tails of the braids. Do the same thing on the left side, and for some extra security, I am going to add some pins in the back just in case any of the tails of the braids slip out of those bobby pins. And this is what it looks like when I am done. I've got 3 packs of crochet hair from my local beauty supply store. Here is the brand, the style, and the color. Also a little close-up of the texture and the curl pattern, you guys. And the first thing I'll need is my crochet hook to get this thing done. I like to break it up down the middle, beginning where the pre-made crochet loop is. Then I'll divide the single piece into doubles. Using 1 piece at a time, I will define it before I get ready to crochet it into my hair. You all are witnessing my very first piece of crochet ever, okay? Therefore, I was trying to get a flow down and just seeing how this worked. So in a minute, I will break down how I did end up getting a good flow and just a routine to get through this hair. But for now, just take a little look at how I am inserting the hair onto the hook, pulling it through, and also pulling the legs, which I like to call them, through the loop and tightening it. At this point, I had a little bit more of a routine, so I wanted to show you guys what I do. So I find the midpoint of the single piece of hair and create a loop right over my first 3 fingers and use my last 2 fingers to hold it taut. Yo, when I tell you that went onto the hook so nicely, I use that method for the rest of this style, and I will show you guys again and do some of these in regular time just so you guys could get a better idea if this is your first time doing it as well. As you guys saw, I did complete about 2 rows, and now I'm just feeling around and filling in any gaps. I made sure that I checked periodically after adding a few more pieces just to see how full it's getting, and also to give myself a better idea of where I should continue to fill in those gaps but I did love this process for that reason. Using my sense of touch when I do my hair, it's just my thing, y'all. It just feels right, and for me it makes things a little bit more accurate. It might sound backwards, but that's just how it is for me. So I did enjoy doing this like very, very much. And so yeah, I'm just continuing to fill up the back, and I'm working my way up to the top of my head. So as I've alluded to, you guys, you do not need a mirror to complete this style. As long as you have an idea of how full you want your hair to be, and make sure that you fill in gaps at a particular distance according to how full you want your hair to be, this will come out perfectly fine. This is foolproof. Here I am getting distracted thinking of how this is going to turn out, but I am making my way toward the front. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up to the top. Once again, just filling in gaps. I did initially start this off with the idea of making rows, but as I proceeded, I realized it's not even about that. It's just about filling it in where you feel it needs it most. I'm separating one piece into two, defining that single piece of hair, putting it in between my first 3 fingers, hooking it onto the latch, closing the latch, pulling it through, unhooking it from the hook, adding the legs to the loop, creating a knot. And at this point, y'all, I learned something. I learned that you can't put the crochet hook underneath too thick of a piece of hair. See how it's like basically wrapped around my whole braid? Yeah, the knot did not want to tighten up, so I did have to slip the hook underneath a thinner piece of hair. That way I could get a nice tight knot. Just FYI, I learned along the way. I'm just working my way towards the front like I said, but now that most of the front near my face is full, I'm gonna start toward the crown and work my way toward my hairline. This is for the people in the back, all right? So I do grab one single piece of hair out of the pack. I separate the hair right where the pre-made crochet loop is, then divide that single piece into doubles. I define the first single piece I will be using. I create a loop at the midpoint of the hair with my first 3 fingers in the middle and my last 2 fingers holding it taut so I can hook it onto the latch hook. As I add more hair to the front of my head, I am noticing that I'm getting closer to the part, so I felt like it was a good time to begin using the invisible knot method. Let me show you what I do. I add the hook underneath a thin piece of hair like I've been doing. I hook some crochet hair onto the hook, open the loop, and I add one leg through the loop instead of both, and that is what is going to create the invisible knot. Now, if you did notice, I'm using a smaller piece of crochet hair than I was before. You want it to be a little bit more thin versus just dividing the hair into 2. You maybe want to divide it into 3 or 4. This way the knot is as small as it can be without being too small that it gets stuck in your hair during removal. Okay, so I am working my way towards the front of my hair using the same method. I'm using the basic crochet method starting from the bottom up, and then when I get toward the part, I will proceed with the invisible knot method. But I just wanted to point out something else that I learned, you guys, and it was that the crochet hook will accidentally get stuck in your natural hair, like in your roots, as you're trying to go around and do what you got to do. So what I learned was that when it gets stuck, push it on through the way that you already inserted it, close the latch and pull it on out, and it will come out like butter. Yeah, that was making me so upset and frustrated as I was going along, you guys. So once I figured that out, I was smooth sailing. I'm just taking a look at what I got going on right now, but I did want to continue to fill up this side that I've been working on. And I did notice that using the invisible knot method, some of the knots were not tight. Like they looked like they were legit about to come out. So I added a traditional basic knot on top of the original knot that I created by using the invisible knot method. And you guys, it was so secure. So that's what I continue to do just for this side. And this is what we look like. Here's the back for you. Now we are going to get into the next step. It is time to cut this hair into shape, you guys. I've got my cutting shears, and I did find it more accurate to look into my screen to cut my hair instead of my mirror, so just to let you know. But I am starting off by cutting for length. So what I do is tug at the curls and cut where I see fit until I get it to the length that I want. I prefer to tug at it before I cut rather than just going straight in, because you might cut too much without realizing it, and this just gives you an idea of the true length. If you cut too much, you can't go back, so I just played it safe. And then once I think I like the length, I will begin to cut for shape. So far, I've cut most of the bottom off, so I'm working my way towards the front of my face. Again, cutting more so for length rather than the shape, just trying to get some of the stragglers out of there and just creating a nice framed look around my face. I'm digging it already, you guys, but I do know that I have a little more ways to go before this look is complete. So I just kept fluffing my hair and moving it around, just trying to see what the look is coming to. And I did realize that the right side of my hair was giving this fluffy, voluminous bomb shape, and the left side of my hair was not. It was looking pretty flat in my opinion. So I thought separating some of the curls would kind of help me out with that, but that was not the case. And I soon realized I needed to add more hair to get that full look. So this is where I decided I was going to add a few more pieces. It only took about 4 or 5 pieces, and y'all, that thing was nice and full. I love this style, y'all. It comes together so quickly. So once they were added, I played around with this some more, and of course I cut it to length and went ahead and blended this hair with the rest of what I had going on. At this point, it was pretty much cut for length, so I went in and started cutting for shape, adding a little bit more of a bang look, angling my scissors to create more of a rounded look at the bottom and the top. And you guys, I wish I could have showed you guys the full cut, but I could not see well. I had to go on my big mirror. So this is more of like the preliminary end look as far as the shape and the cut goes. But I was already loving it, and I knew that it would come together, so I just wanted to show you guys what it was looking like. But now it is time to do my baby hairs, and today I opted to use my Got To Be Invincible Clear Gel just because I knew it would do the trick. I wouldn't have to do too much. It lays my natural hair right down, and it dries very quickly, y'all. So I just went ahead and added it, swooped my edges the way that I wanted to, and just made sure that it was very cohesive with what I had going on with my crochet hair. So once I like it, I'm gonna grab my silk scarf, of course, and I'm gonna tie it down and let these babies set for a while. In the meantime, I played around with it, fluffed it out. I did cut it more to shape. Then I got ready while my baby hairs were still setting. And you guys, let me just stop talking and show you how it turned out. All right, babies, I'm back with the final look. I am in love, y'all. I don't know if it's because it's my first time, but when I tell you guys, I can't get over this right now. I just put this style in and I already want to do it again. This crochet style was quick, it was simple, and it was so enjoyable to do. The whole process, starting in the back, watching the hair get full toward the middle, finally filling out the front, and then shaping it to tie it all together. You guys, this is my kind of look, and I never thought to do this. I've always known about crochet, but I just never had any interest in trying it out for myself. But y'all, it was about time. Because do you see this hair right now? I would recommend this to anyone who needs a cute style quickly. This right here, if I wasn't filming, it would have taken me about an hour and a half. But in this case, it did take me 2 hours because I was filming for you guys. Do you know how long some styles take me to do? I can spare 2 hours. All in all, you guys, I am 100% in love. The invisible part method worked if you ask me. I'm sure if you have different color roots than the color crochet hair that you're putting in, it might be a little bit more tricky and you might have to add some more pieces and be more strategic with your placement. But my roots, baby, you can't deny that them things look like they're growing out my scalp. I have to say it did come out very natural. In my opinion, I'm able to pull it off in public, in any lighting. I feel totally comfortable to head on out, you guys. If this video was enjoyable and helpful, do give it a like. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you want to see from me next. And you already know, if you want to see more from me, because I got more for you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see y'all babies in the next one. Bye.